NASA announced on Thursday that studying UFOs requires new scientific techniques like advanced satellites and a shift in how we perceive unidentified flying objects. The space agency's findings come after a year-long study into UFOs. In a 33-page report, an independent team commissioned by NASA highlighted that the negative perception surrounding UFOs hinders data collection. However, NASA's involvement aims to reduce the stigma around what they term UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson stated that the agency aims to shift the conversation about UAPs from sensationalism to science. He emphasized that the panel found no evidence of UAPs having an extraterrestrial origin. While officials stressed the absence of evidence for UAPs being of extraterrestrial origin, Nelson acknowledged the vastness of the universe with billions of stars in billions of galaxies, suggesting the possibility of another Earth-like existence.
I am announcing that NASA has appointed a NASA Director of UAP Research. They are being tasked with developing and overseeing the implementation of NASA's vision for UAP research. And it's in our DNA to explore and to ask why things are the way they are. In June of last year, NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. We did so with a few goals in mind. First, to examine how NASA can use our expertise and instruments to study UAP from a scientific perspective. Second, shift the conversation about UAP from sensationalism to science, and to make sure that whatever we find or whatever we recommend, to make sure that information is shared transparently around the world.
Well, now, even as you're looking at these visuals, let me clarify that the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, on Thursday released a new report on what it calls the unidentified anomalous phenomenon, better known to the public as unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. But it has come down on the Mexican lawmaker who presented alien bodies, saying that they were about 1,000 years old, which what you're seeing on your screens as well. What happened was essentially that alien bodies were presented inside the Mexican Congress. Mexican journalist and longtime UFO enthusiast Jamie Mawson showed politicians at the hearing on Tuesday two tiny bodies that you can see on your screens, displayed in cases with 3 fingers on each hand and elongated heads. Now, people are already calling this a fraud and a hoax, but this has opened doors for the conversations of the what if aspect of what happens beyond our solar system and our planetary experience. Meanwhile, the NASA and in its report during the press conference, NASA officials were also asked questions about the UFO hearing in Mexico's Congress that featured the presentation of alleged remains of non-human beings. David Spergel, the former head of Princeton University's astrophysics department and chair of the UAP report, said he did not know the nature of the samples but urged transparency. This is something that I have only seen on Twitter. When you have unusual things, you want to make the data public. So if carbon dating was exactly done on these two tiny bodies, do put it out in the public domain. But even as I say that, astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, well, he said that if you think we're the only people in the solar system, well, you've got to be foolish and you've got to be kidding me. So the what if theory, it's still out there, but NASA not necessarily coming any close to Mawson's Mexican Congress revelations.